Hi, friends. How are you? I hope everything's going well and you're transitioning into the new software easily. And if not, definitely reach out to me any way that's easy for you, and we can make it more easier for you to transition into the new software. So, the pose of the day is going to possibly involve blocks or blankets. You can roll up a blanket underneath your sits bone because we're going to play with Kurmasana. So, finding a blanket or a towel you can roll up a few times and just allow your sits bones to rest on it. So, you want to roll it up enough so that it doesn't feel like your pelvis is being pulled back. So, we're going to stretch our legs out, and I'll dissect that in a minute. But you want to make sure if you're already feeling like you're being pulled back, like I'm demonstrating physically here, you want to roll up way more underneath you until you feel the sits bones can rest comfortably underneath you and it feels like the pelvis is able to move forward instead of the other direction. So once you have that set up, take your legs out in front of you, hands go to the inside of the legs, and you stretch the legs out in a V position. Now, from here, your toes are pointed up. You don't want them to flop out, right? And then see if you can bend your knees if you need a little more release, if it's not comfortable having them straight. So if you're bending your knees, that's where you can slide your blocks or some rolled up towels or pillows or blankets, depending on how bent your knees are or need to be. And then from here, lengthen the spine. So a lot of times people will lead with their head and just drop down. Right. And this just strains the back, doesn't really do much with the pose. So you might already be in a very deep stretch here. So maybe you even just take the hands behind you and stay here and you feel the stretch. Right. Now, another movement, if you feel pretty open and you don't feel enough sensation, you start to walk forward. But notice how my back stays almost in a subtle back bend in the shoulders, right? So I'm not rounding, I'm subtly rolling the shoulders back and down. It feels as if I have a pole in the front of my body that's made of cement. So you can't bend it or manipulate it in any way. So it's just being pulled forward, and the rest of my body is being pulled back from that pole, right? And you just keep moving forward in that form until the body says stop. So if you're not completely on the earth and you want to relax, this is where you can take tons of pillows, bolsters underneath you to support you, or you could just stay here depending on how long you want to rest in the pose. Now, fun little extra stretch. If you have a big wall space that you can use and you don't want to play with folding forward, you can actually, I'm going to go demonstrate that over here. Take your feet against the wall. And this already might be enough of a stretch, or you can keep walking closer and closer and closer and closer to the wall until you feel enough of a stretch in the legs. Now, so your heels would be touching the wall as you move closer to the wall. You might not come as close as I am, you might even go closer. That in itself will give you inner thigh stretch if folding forward isn't your thing today. Yay! So let's do that together. So finding any of those forms that feels good for you, and then lengthening the spine if you're folding forward. If you're staying upright, just stay there. And I invite you to get cozy and comfortable, keeping in mind if it gets uncomfortable or you feel any subtle burning or kind of pulling sensation, definitely come out of the pose immediately. Otherwise, gaze at a spot and take a deep breath through the nose and exhale. And let the head relax here. Starting to really acknowledge the position that you've created with your body. Maybe at first it's just the mind that's interacting with that. But the more you really start to register this very moment as it is, maybe you start to really move into that first person experience where you're in your body and you're feeling your body in this position that you've created. And I invite you, as you start to interact with whatever is in this moment, to interact with it as if you were connecting with a friend or someone that you enjoy talking to and hanging out with in a very friendly way. And as you may know, when we interact with someone in a friendly way, there's a level of acceptance involved in that, subtly in the background, in the undertone of the interaction. So, inviting that acceptance in this friendly interaction with this moment, just giving yourself the opportunity to slow down. Sometimes life moves very quickly. Our reactions go in full blown, our autopilot is launched. So, when you feel that starting to happen, I invite you just to take moments, just tuning into your breathing as you are right now, letting your exhales become longer than your inhales. And just feel into the body. In other words, ground into the body, into this moment of now, just as it is, without needing to plan or solve anything. Just let the energy settle in, similar to having a snow globe that you shook up and then decided to just place down into stillness. And just watch how everything starts to settle down to the earth till eventually you can clearly see the picture. Feeling that same experience here, feeling yourself physically resting in stillness, just feeling the body breathe. So eventually you feel the clear picture of this moment of now, of this moment of you. So I invite you to stay there as long as you'd like. And if you want to add some extra poses, you're definitely welcome to do that. Otherwise, I just invite you, even if you don't do an actual yoga pose, maybe give yourself a few moments just to breathe, like we did that little meditation, super tiny, short meditation, but offering yourself just a few moments here and there all throughout the day can make such a huge, profound difference. So I love you all so much. I'm hugging you from afar, and I'll see you hopefully tonight at 6. Yay! Bye.